All right, we are back with another episode of Both Ends Podcast. We have here with us today a legend in the DMV basketball world, Anthony Gumby Williams, also a local Rockville resident, a complete legend, a guy that both Ojo and I played against in high school. And so it's a pleasure to have you here today, man. And we're really happy you're able to make it out and tell us your story. We just want to get through that, basically. We want to know how you got to this point, because for a lot of people who have not who maybe know your name or know of you, they maybe don't know sort of the journey you took to get where you got in basketball. And we want to talk about that. We want to also get your views on basketball today in the game. So with that, we'll start with just asking you one basic question. Sort of, when you hear the term both ends, what does that mean to you?
To me, when I hear both ends, I mean, that's Ojo. I mean, for one, he plays both ends of the court, so he's going to give it to you on defense. He's definitely going to give it to you on offense, right? So, and it's, to me, when I hear and he put this together with the both ends, it's just like, man, that suits him perfectly, right? You know, so it's seeing it makes the game easier for everyone else that's playing. So, especially for someone like me, I can play D, but that's not my forte, right? So, he's going to play both ways. He's going to cover the best player on the team 9 times out of 10. He's going to pick up 94 feet, and that's just what both ways mean to me.
So I guess for me, this is one of the guys that I used to look up to as well. We got a history, probably since like 98.
Yeah.
We actually didn't like formally know each other, but like I probably knew of him before he knew of me. To me, he's one of the best players to ever play in Montgomery County, whether it was football and basketball. And I guess my question is, 2 questions. Where did the nickname Gumby come from? And which sport did you like better first, football or basketball?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the nickname Gumby came from Little League football.
For sure.
Rockville Football League, playing with the Redskins. We were just out there and coaches. Mike Coleman, like they gave all of us nicknames. So everybody on the team had a nickname. So the big thing back then was to get a nickname put on the back of your jersey. From them, based off what they told me, it was just that I was elusive and I bent like Gumby, the green drink. Everybody know what that is, Gumby and Pokey. That was kind of like a running joke for a while as I was growing up. But that's where that came from.
Okay.
And what was the second?
The second one was, which sport did you fall in love with first, football or basketball?
I think for me, my first love was football.
Me too.
I feel like that was just something I didn't have to work at.
Yeah.
Right? That was just a God-given talent. Playing back in the day, just throw up tackle, sandlot football, just in the street playing 2-on-2 hand touch. Like that was just it for us. So I think for me, that was my first love. So football, definitely, yeah.
The first time I played, I think I remember playing against you was when we went to Damascus High School. I got moved up to varsity as a sophomore, and I think you were a senior.
Yeah.
And you and Schools were like the star players on that Richard Montgomery team. And I remember maybe it was like the first or second possession I got in the game. I had to guard you. We were playing zone, and you came off a screen and shot. And it was the highest anyone has ever jumped on a jump shot I'd ever seen. Where did you get that from? I think for some of the folks who may not know your game, I think you were well known for this. The fact that you elevated so high on your jump shot. How did you develop that?
I think for me, that came from watching Kent Ricks.
Kent.
He's an older guy.
Okay, so who's Kent Ricks?
Shout out Kent.
He's an older guy from out Lincoln Park. Kind of took us under his wing. So at the rec center, like he shoot and like he used to jump high.
Yeah,
like
I remember that.
And I mean like when he shoot, like never miss. So it's like you just stand there, just keep passing the ball back. You're like, damn, I'm trying to shoot too. So like even before that, like I had a shot, but it was kind of like a set shot. It was just a catch it and just no arc on it, and no level, no lift on my shot. So he was like, just work on that, just get off the ground. So from there, I took from him, and I just worked on it, perfected it. So I just started, jumping a little higher on my shot.
So that was conscious, the elevation. It made it really difficult to block.
Exactly.
Not that I could have blocked it anyway, but but when you're playing against this guy who's 6'8", 6'9", like that suddenly puts you at an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. So and it felt good, like when you come off and you elevate a little higher, and then it's like they contest, but it's not really, the hand's not in your face, so it's still an open shot. So yeah.
So I think the first time like I knew of or I played against Gumby was probably at Damascus Regional Park. You probably don't even remember this though.
Regional Park.
So yeah, you remember Damascus Regional Park, but like the first time that I saw you, it was probably you came up with Coop Schools and yourself. Y'all came up there. That's when you had the plaits and the high socks. So I was like, yo, and I heard about you though. Everybody, Gumby. So I think you guys probably didn't even come off the floor. So I think probably the final game you probably played against Jovan, Colin, Chris Rowland,
Damascus crew.
Yeah, the Damascus crew. And I was a little young and not too far of age from you, but I just remember being smaller though. So I do remember though you dominated and you elevated on your shot. I guess one of the questions I had for you was, football was your first love. So when did basketball become your second love, and you probably, I guess, surpassed football? What made you think like, you know what, I think I'm gonna be as good as basketball, if not better?
I think to start back to the Damascus regional joint, like that was the spot.
Yeah.
Right. Like y'all turned that into something where you want to be known, like, come up here. If you can play, then this is where you're gonna play at. So it's kind of like Amity.
Yeah.
Right. Like Amity was a jumping spot as well. So if you can hoop, get your little mob, bring you 2 or 3, come up here and see what you can do. So again, the Master Regional, that was great bump. So all y'all there,
that's wild that y'all saw it like that. Because for us, we grew up there, and it was amazing basketball players would come through there. But it was just our neighborhood park.
I mean, for us, it was like, oh, you can hoop. Like, we heard about it. Let's go up there. Let's go do what we're gonna do and see how it turns out. Like I said, the same with Amity as well. But I think when basketball started to overcome the football aspect of it, it was probably when I say maybe my 10th, 11th grade year. I think my 11th grade year was probably my best football year that I had.
Yeah.
That was the year I rushed for over 1,000 yards with Tim Woods, one of the great running backs. He from Lincoln Park as well.
For sure.
So we was kind of like a dynamic duo. But I think after he left, I kind of lost that,
love for
football. But I still wanted to play because I had, my young cousin coming up, super cool, of course, like he was on the team. So stayed there for them or whatever. But I felt like the basketball thing, I probably could make it work a little more. But it still wasn't 100%. Basketball was still football because I had the scholarship to go to Maryland. Yeah. But with that was the SATs for on my own. So for all you youngins, get your work done in school, man. Like, it matters. I promise you that. So, I had to take the long route, Route 50 or whatever. Got a scholarship to go play at a junior college in Oklahoma. I went out there. I really wasn't feeling it. Came back home, and then I was like, well, I'm just going to do basketball from there. So I think that's when that transition made. So it's probably after my 11th and 12th grade year that I was just like, you know what? I'm done with football. I'm going to focus on basketball.
So you played safety and you played quarterback. Did you play? So we always used to joke about this story. I think for Damascus, I know playing against you, the scouting report was to take you out. I'm gonna be 100 with you. So I do remember you playing kick return one time.
I did.
Was it at Damascus?
I did play kick return at Damascus. It wasn't my position, but it was just a fill-in. It was because like you said, like that was for most teams, like if we get him out of the game, then we good. So I think kind of that was like the MO. So I never played no special teams. That was just a one-time thing. I was back on kick return. I think I might have played punt return one time as well, but it was never like a official position for me, just for that reason alone.
So you made all Met for football and basketball?
All Met for football. A lot of people think I made it for both. I made all counted for basketball. It was a lot of great talent in the basketball game, so I do get it. And again, I wasn't that going at people. I was more so like the catch, dunk, score when I score, but it really wasn't a thing to try to be the go-to guy on the team. I was just on a good team, and I probably was the best player on the team, but it wasn't like go get yours for basketball. Right. But for football, like I said, like that was my first love, and like
it was natural.
When I'm on the football field, I feel like can't nobody do nothing with me out here. So
you mentioned Lincoln Park a couple times already. Can you talk a little bit about what role that played in the development of your sports acumen, in a sense? Like, what was it like growing up there? Because for us, we've talked about that before. What was it like growing up in the same neighborhood where people were out all the time playing sports? What was that experience? So how did Lincoln Park help kind of build you?
Man, that was it for me.
Yeah.
Like that's home. That's always gonna be home.
For sure.
I mean, from the time you come outside, from the time you come home from school, from the time the lights come on, it's someone out there doing something, right? There's so many athletes that came from Lincoln Park, like my age, a little older. I mean, we had cats out there, Spunk. I'm gonna do nicknames, maybe some real names. Roman Cross, like he was probably the best athlete out there. Like he played everything, like baseball, football, bunny hop on the bank, on a bike, ride a wheelie around the block, skateboard. Like he can do all that, but he played no sports in high school. But he was still, it was just a competition thing out there, man. Like I said, like the throw up tackle, the football, we played baseball, tennis, everything we did. Like it was a unit out there, and there was so many out there that could do it. Like you had Juggy B, Raymond Jackson. He was a great football player, basketball player. You had Furls, basketball players. Rick Dyson, football player. It was so many names that it was like I gotta be better than this person or better than this person to compete. So all that was just competition, but it was friendly competition because it was within the neighborhood. But you had to be confident in yourself to overcome all that because everybody could do what you could do. So everybody could run the same speed, everybody could catch, everybody could throw the ball, everybody could jump the fence, everybody was the leader and followed the leader. So it was just, are you gonna work harder than the next person? So I think that's what it was for Lincoln Park. And then you see the older generation out there, like my brother, Kevin Williams, you see Kent Ricks, you see DJ, Donnell Johnson, you see Tyrone Davis, you see these guys out there, you just like, well, damn, you know, I can do that.
For
you
sure.
know, so I think that's kind of what it was. So a lot of people, Lincoln Park gets that reputation of, you know, the drug era, a lot of drugs out here and a lot of bad, which it was.
Yeah.
But it was still family, right? So it was still, you know, if you out here doing what you're supposed to be doing, we got you. We want to make sure you get home straight. You go to the center. Then we had Lincoln Park Community Center. Like that was our safe haven.
Yeah.
You in there, you're good. You up and down the street, Moore Drive, Douglas Avenue, Lincoln Avenue, Frederick Avenue, you're good to go.
So I was gonna get to that, the 90s and the street. You know, at the moment back then it was a lot of, I guess, crime and street activity coming up in Lincoln Park, and I even heard of Lincoln Park when I was coming up. So let me ask you this: did you feel like that kept you from going that route? Did you have positive influences that told you, hey, you know, don't go this route that we're going because you're gonna get in trouble? Because I feel like a real gangster or somebody that's being, you know, positive and they're out there doing something because they have to do it to provide for their family. I feel like a real one is somebody that would tell you don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? So do you feel like, did you have positive role models that tell you like to, you know, stay away from that, man? Don't be like me. You know, I had a chance to go far in school. You know, could you answer that one for me?
I definitely did. I mean, I think it's like Biggie said it best, man. I think it's like you either had a wicked jump shot or you sling crack rock, right? So I think that was it, right? So you make your own decisions out there. So nobody's gonna peer pressure you or try to make you do something that you didn't want to do. But if you gravitating towards that way, then of course they're gonna use you and be like, you know what, look, here, go ahead, hold this or do that. But if you trying to work your way out and you doing something, you playing a sport, they got you. You know, so like my biggest my role model out there was DJ, Donnell Johnson. He played on the Richmond Montgomery basketball team. He kept me fresh, right? So with the shoes, I think I wore a size 8.5 until I was in damn 9th grade. I couldn't even fit the shoes. But he always sent me to the house like, look, you need some shoes? Go to the house, get the shoes. So, you know, and with that, it became a trust thing. Like, I go in his house, like he was out there, and he was out there doing what he do. Go in there, go in the room, go in the closet. I go in the closet, shoebox full of money. Like most men I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm like, damn, he trusts me to come in here to grab some shoes and come out and do what I'm gonna do. And that was it. So I think him alone was probably my biggest reason for trying to stay on the narrow path. And honestly, he was the only one that gave me money when I went away for the junior college. Like, so he laced me with a couple hundred or whatever to get up out of here. So yeah. So
real talk.
So you had this amazing football career in high school. Can you talk a little bit about the opportunities? Like, what was it like for you sort of in high school, being this athlete, 2-star athlete, I think there's a lot of players who achieve that level of, not a lot, some players achieve that level, but you had, like Ojo said, there was a legend around you at that time. Were you aware of that? Like, were you aware that, cats like us were like, oh, there's Gumby over there. We knew you as one name, I think before we knew who you personally. So were you aware of that at the time?
Well, I wasn't really aware of it. I was just playing. Just to play the game, and it was just something that I love to do, right? Like I said, like we didn't have no trainers back then. I wasn't running through ladders or hurdles or nothing like that. If it was basketball season, I played basketball. If it was football season, I played football, right? I think I didn't really get into that. Gumby's really good until maybe 11th and 12th grade year. Where I started to see like, okay, well maybe I can do something with this, right? Maybe I can, and then. Because it started coming from everywhere. Like you said, like people from Damascus, from Blair, from Rockville High School, Richmond Gun, like it was like, nah, you can really do something with the talent you have. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I need to put some more effort into this and try to make this work. But it was never really a feeling of I'm the best out here from 9th, 10th grade. But when I got to 11th and 12th, it was like, all right, maybe I am, maybe I can do something with this, and maybe the chatter that I'm hearing, maybe it is true. So,
So who was the hardest person you ever went against for football and basketball in high school?
For football, it was I don't think it was one person per se, but I would say a team, and that was Damascus.
Yeah,
I've never beat Damascus in football.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but they just always had just a team full of talent, man. And it was just always fun to play them. I'll tell you this story. I don't know a lot of people know, but my 9th grade year, I played varsity. Our first game was against Damascus. So we pull up, and you got the little gravel where you got to go into that drink, and then the stadium is already filled up. Yeah. So we just getting there. We get there a little early. Wow. So 5 o'clock, 5:30, 7 o'clock game, like it's packed.
Yeah.
I get on the bus. Jersey on backwards.
Yeah. He's nervous.
Williams on the front. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, my goodness, man. So I would say like it was never really a player, but I would say definitely team. So I would say Damascus. Wheaton was another team. Churchill.
For football.
Yeah, Churchill. Okay. I played against a good friend, David Ricks.
Yeah.
He was a monster out there. Yeah, he played the game.
What made Damascus so tough to play against? I'm just curious.
The work ethic.
They
beat him from small.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was.
As an opponent, I was just wondering because I know guys who play football at Damascus, obviously, but I never heard anyone actually talk about what it was experienced. I mean, they had a system.
They did.
No.
Right? I think they had for me, and what I learned over the years is that they got like a feeder program.
Yeah.
So like we kind of got it here, but with the zoning. So like if we had Rockville, RFL Redskins, then you had the Raiders, then you had the Vikings, but everybody would go to different schools. Yeah. I feel like Damascus, if you played for the Damascus Little League, you went to Damascus. So it was all there. It was breaded there. It was just there, and it was so well coached, and it's just like everyone know what they want to do. Like I'm gonna play my position, I'm gonna play my role, and we're gonna go out here and do what we do. So it was just
like
a great
college level system.
Yeah.
They had like a machine, so like they could put different people in every year, and they weren't falling out.
Crazy.
It's funny because they beat us. I think that year it was 49-14. I had 2 touchdowns, long runs, but it was still 49-14. So it was like, damn, how good are these guys? And then we played them the first game every year. My 9th, 10th, 11th grade, we played them Bounds the first game every year. So that's 0-1 off the break.
You already expected it to be 0-1.
0-1 off the break every year. But it was fun, man.
Yeah. So after your unbelievable high school career on football and basketball, and the unfortunate situation with the University of Maryland, what was your thought process? Like as soon as you graduated, you what am I going to do next? Am I going to stop or am I going to continue to pursue it? Like what made you continue to pursue your basketball career? Because I know you said something about, I remember you went to Montgomery College too for football, and I think the football program had got shut down. Am I correct? Kinda.
So I think so. After I graduated,
Yeah.
like I said, I went to Oklahoma A&M.
Yeah.
I went out there, really wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But I made the best of it, best
Right,
of the
for
situation,
sure.
So,
You know how that go.
and then you don't want to come right home. You like people, oh, he homesick and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I stuck it out. So I stuck it out for that first running through the heat, 90 degrees, 100 degrees out there.
Yeah.
Humidity crazy out there. So I stuck it out. And then, I went to the coach like a young man, which was a lot for me,
Yeah,
right? Because I
for
really
sure.
wasn't a talker. So, I went to him like, coach, it's not for me. He understood. I was like, I got a college right next to where I stay at, junior college. We're in the same, they're in the same division. So I just go back out there. So I kind of went back home from there. Got to MC.
Yeah.
Coach Phil Martin spoke with him, and he was saying, well, these guys have been here through the whole
Like training camp.
training
or
camp,
like that.
and you haven't been here. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not saying I need to come in and take
Right.
nobody's spot. But he's like, well, you need the red shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not red shirt.
Yeah.
Like listen, I'm not tooting my own horn nothing, but I was putting in work out Oklahoma. It's not like I was just sitting around doing nothing. So I was out there doing what I was doing out there. From there, it just became a back and forth. Then this week I was like, well, I'm not gonna play anymore.
Right.
And then from there, that's when I kind of went into my, damn, what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do? Trying to figure it out. So cut the braids. And I was like, all right, new me, football's done.
Wow.
I'm gonna turn over to a new chapter. Set out for a year, maybe a year and a half. Coach Crutchfield reached out to me from Germantown.
Yeah. Shout out Crutch.
So, Bino, he come play. So I went up Germantown, played up there for a year. Got me some looks. It was great. Then I got a look from Pfeiffer through what's our coach name?
Coach Hobb. Yep.
Coach Hobb always looked out. Like he always wanted me to come play at Rockville.
Why didn't you?
So you never actually. So
he
let's
didn't
tell us
play for
that story. Yes, you never actually played for them.
I never played for Rockville. I wanted to, but I felt like I need to be up the road.
For sure.
I felt like Rockville was too close to home, and I felt like I was getting too much out that way, right? And it's just, and I knew everybody at Rockville, MC. So I was like, let me just go to Germantown. And honestly, when I went to Germantown, that's the best damn grades I ever had in my life.
Really?
It was crazy, right?
Yeah.
I'm on a bus, then I'm from practice, I'm to the library, and then I'm back home. Then I'm back in the library, then practice, I'm going to class. It was a great feeling, right? And I feel like that was the best move for me at the time for what I was trying to figure out for myself. And then, I got and Coach Hobson, he was still doing his part at Rockville. He loved me like I was his own, like I was one of his own players.
That's why I
Coach
love
Crush
Hobson.
loved me the same way, and it was like, all right, I'm going to get you in contact with Coach Davis from Pfeiffer University. So they got me into that. So I go out there.
Before you get to that, what changed for you there between high school and junior college in terms of your attention to your grades? Because it sounds like something switched. Was there a kind of a change in your feeling of maturity at that point? What happened to cause that?
Definitely maturity. Definitely reality set in. Your athletic ability is not going to get you into these top schools, right? So for me, it was like, damn, I got to do something. I got to have these grades to back up what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's funny because as you're growing up and you're going through middle school and high school, you hear teachers and people say, oh, you got to have your grades. You got to have something to fall back on. You like, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm going to do me, right? You know what I'm saying? So then that hit me. And it was hard to take. And it was like, damn, what am I going to do? So then when I got that call from Crush, I was like, man, I'll make the best. I'm gonna take this as a blessing. I'm gonna make the best of it, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So from there, it was school, library. I could go to school, finish class. In college you got your full class. You got your 12 credits, 16 credits, or whatever, and then you got the half of the day left to go home. I ain't go home. I went to the library. That was my new.
Okay.
That was my newfound. My newfound thing, right? And I put that on myself. I was like, man, I ain't about to get back on this bus and then go back home and then sit in the house and try to do work. Go to the library. Yeah. Finish your work. Go to the gym. Ain't nobody in the gym. Right. Yeah. You got the gym to yourself. Right. So go do your work. Go to the gym. and then you go home. And that was kind of my routine for the whole year, and that's just what I did.
Did you see both an improvement in your game and your
Oh
grades?
yeah, definitely the grades. The game, like my jump shot ain't really come until like later on. Like I was just athletic, Pfeiffer. Like I was just athletic. I give you a story. So before that, I think it was my last year at Germantown. I went to Pfeiffer. Me and Vito, Vernon Buckle. So we both got offer to go out there, right? So
I remember.
Y'all played together?
So this is a story nobody know. I don't know if you want me to tell the story, but I'm gonna tell you. That's my man Vito.
Want you to tell
All right, so we both got a scholarship to Pfeiffer. So we go out there. We go out there together. His mom take us out there. This is the longest ride ever. It's supposed to take 6 hours. It take us like 10 hours to get out there.
North Carolina.
Yeah, so we ride Meisenheimer, North Carolina. Yep.
Yeah.
So we get out there, and we talked to Coach Davis, and then they kind of split us. So it's like, all right, you go here, you go here. So I'm like, they split us. We're about to be roommates.
Right.
So they talked to him. He come back. He tell me, so like, man, they ain't even trying, let me in or whatever because I got some grades I gotta take care of from the school that he came from.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what you mean they ain't trying? I said, well, if you ain't going, then I ain't going. So he's like, nah, I don't do that, man. He's like, nah. I said, look, Vito, look, we kind of just joined together like it was kind of like a package. In my head, I took it as a package, right? So I'm like, well, I'm gone. You leaving, I'm leaving. So I leave. We both leave. So
What?
So
Yeah,
we both leave. Like we
Okay.
both leave. Like,
All right.
but it's funny because when they gave me my key, it had Anthony Williams, and then it had another name on there. I'm like, what Vito name at?
Right.
So then, like I said, we link up. We like, yeah, they ain't gonna let me in. So like, well, you leaving, I'm leaving. So we out here. So we shoot out. Coach Hobson mad at me. Not mad at me, but he gonna talk to me.
What's he saying to you? Like,
He's just like, what are you doing? He's like, you did what you supposed to be doing.
Right.
Like Vern didn't take care of his grades at the school, so he gonna get that fixed, and he gonna come back out there. But I think for
and
me,
he had coached him.
yeah,
Coach Hobson had coached
and Coach Vito too.
Vernon.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like, you did what you supposed to do.
Yeah.
You got out here. He didn't take care of his grades, but he's gonna get it done because they said he can come back out.
Right.
In my head, I'm just like, I ain't coming.
Yeah.
I'm gone. So I go back to MC, and this was where that year before helped me because now I'm not playing basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's like, damn. Now what I'm gonna do? But I had that library.
Yeah.
I had the library at Germantown. I had that. I had my new comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that was my new comfort zone. So that's where I went. So there, weight room, and then I still got to go into the gym and work out. So that was great. And then the jump shot part came from a good friend of mine, Johan Matos. He was like, look,
Shout out Yoshi.
he was like, look, man, everybody know that you can play basketball, but everybody think all you can do is dunk and slash. He's like, you got to work on your jumper. So all we did was work on my J. That's all we did. That's it. Summer, shoot.
What year was that?
That was probably
04-ish, 5?
maybe 03, 04, because I
Yeah.
left. Yeah, so 03, 04. And then we started to link up with TJ Thompson and Landy Thompson, the shooting
Shout
brothers,
out.
so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
could
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
So, we started working out Upper County, and they're shooting. And then it was like, damn, they shooting the makes.
Yeah.
Like, they shooting makes. Like, I'm shooting, they shooting 25.
You getting your reps up
makes.
just to do reps.
I'm shooting 25. So I'm like, nah, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to shoot to do makes. I don't want to just shoot 25 and keep shooting till I make. Nah, I want to shoot to make 25. And from that 25, I want to shoot no more than 35, 40 shot.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how they were shooting. So they 25. So they 25 for 35. Right?
Wow.
So it's like, all right, okay, I see where I got to be. So I think that's where the jump shot start coming into play where, all right, I'm going to focus more on this jump shot game. And I still got the athletic ability.
For sure.
So when I put all that together, I'll be a whole nother player.
Wow.
So then after you left MC and then decided, you was going to make that move to go to Pfeiffer, how was that like your first few weeks there? Did you gel well with Coach Davis right off break? I know you met a few people you became close with, like Rico Greer and Damian and a few other guys like that. But tell me about your experience in the beginning at Pfeiffer.
I think the beginning at Pfeiffer was a cultural shock for me, right? And I know because you came up there a little behind me. So it was like everybody was just so damn happy
Yeah. It was weird.
Like,
It was weird.
no, I mean it's crazy coming from where you from Lincoln Park, where you grew up at, from Richmond Montgomery to being around. It's like, why is everybody saying hi and how you doing, good morning? Like I don't want to hear that shit. Like leave me alone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just going to the cafeteria.
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
going to the cafeteria.
It was different. It was different.
I'm just going to the cafeteria to get breakfast. Hey, good morning, Gumby. How you doing? How's everything? What? Leave me alone. You know what I mean? So it was an adjustment for those first couple of weeks, but I think the team and I think Coach Davis, like he made it a family thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So that was a gelling point like off the bat. Right. So we had to do everything together. So we ate breakfast together. We went to lunch together. We had dinner together. We had to do these culture credits. You remember culture credits?
What's a culture credit?
So culture credit is like a credit, like you need this credit to like graduate. You got to build up. So you go to middle schools and you read to younger kids, or you go to like the church events or type of events on campus to get these credits. So he was like, okay, so this group, so there'll be a group of 5. So you 5, you going to the elementary school to read the kids. Like that's what you had to do, and it was like every Wednesday. Wow. So it was like
you remember
a lot.
Yeah, it was building. So it was building and it was bonding, and it was great. And I think that worked out. That worked out great. But my relationship with Dave started a little rocky. Not like bad, but he was more so of seniority, right? So juniors and seniors, you gonna get what you gonna get. So you already got everything. You coming in freshman, sophomore, whatever. You gotta wait.
And what were you classified when you came in?
When I came in, I classified as a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I remember this like yesterday. He was giving out hoodies, sweatshirts, Pfeiffer hoodies. I'm like, damn. I said, yeah, I'm trying to get one of those. He was like, sophomores don't speak. He was like, sophomores don't speak, and I'm like, hold on, who are you talking to? You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Right.
So
and you're probably the same age as some of the
same age, yeah, because I'm 2 years in. And I'm like, hold on.
You don't talk to me like that.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like
crazy.
But that maturity, all that stuff, like it worked out. So I think for me in that situation, it benefited me because I was like, okay, I can handle that. Like, all right, whatever. I earn it. Yeah. Right. So I earn it. So right. I go out there and I do what I do. And it's like, now I got that respect. Now it's, all right, Anthony, you need something. You need some extra pair of shoes. You need these. So then it was earned. So it felt more appreciated on my end. So I think that was the jump off.
So being that you're at Pfeiffer, you guys have a successful 2 years when you were there. Explain the 5-in, 5-out system. Both of us coming from JUCO. Right. Our goal was to play like Division I. And it humbled us, through situations and stuff. But that 5-in, 5-out, right? How did it make you? Like, how did you buy into that system? Like, did you feel like that you could buy it right off break? Was it the easy transition for you, or you were already like, you know what, this is what I like to do?
I think for me, coming from Germantown, playing with 6 people, averaging like 20 and 10, it was and playing the whole game was like, damn, where am I fitting to get my shots? Yeah. Right? So, but what I learned from it was that second 5 could have easily been the first 5. Yeah. Right? So it wasn't really a...
Who's starting?
Right. So, and then it was, now I got to learn where to take my shots from, where to pick it from here, and you can play all out. So I could play 100% because I know I'm getting rest. Right. So I can go 100 miles an hour because in 2 minutes, I'm coming out. Yeah. So the adjustment was train to be better in that system, right? So now it was, all right, I know I'm gonna get this corner shot because the 5-in, 5-out, and with the Pfeiffer offense, it was run to a spot,
and break spots,
and stay in your spot, right? So, so it was like stay in my spot. What I'm supposed to do when I catch the ball? So I think my adjustment was to that was, all right, now I need to work on catch and shoot more, jab, triple threat. That's where my triple threat jab came into play, right? So I started to work. I'm like, damn, if I'm just going to stay in the corner or catching him when it's ready to do nothing but drive and kick, I'll triple threat from the corner. So I started to work on that. So I think that transition and that 5-in, 5-out, it was hard to adjust to because it's like...
Can you explain what that is? For folks who don't know, what was 5-out, 5-in, what was that?
5-in literally means 5 players in, 5 players out every 45 to a minute seconds, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was hard to get a rhythm. So a lot of times, like a player like myself, like I'm a rhythm type player, especially a rhythm type shooter.
Yeah.
So if I hit 1 or 2, then you take me out. Do you know how hard that was, Rumteen, for me to like, get a rhythm?
Every player. I mean, I think
Like-
there's very few players that would be comfortable with that. I mean, how do you break a sweat? I mean, eventually you will by the end of the game, but at the beginning, like,
I think it was the pace of the game, right? So the pace of the game is press full court, trap full court,
Which I love
5-2
that.
fist.
Yeah.
So it's pressing. So you got first unit is going to be full court press, trap over half. Second unit is going to be trap over half only, but it's you trapping and you sprinting out.
Yeah.
So you playing hard for a whole, like you said, 45 seconds to a minute and a half. Like you just going all out. So sometimes you want that break.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm like, damn, this is a long ass minute.
Not me.
Like when, but for somebody like Ojo, like you said, he's a rhythm player. Like he's not. It's gonna be harder for him to gravitate towards that system because he plays better as the game goes on.
Right.
Right. So my adjustment was, I need to play better early. I need to get it done early because I know in these 2 minutes I'm coming out. Right. So with that, you had Rico, you had Kenny Mickens, you had Damian, you had Rio.
Yeah.
Like these guys, like they benefited from that system.
Yeah.
Like they loved it. Right. Like Rico, like the first time I seen somebody ever come down on a fast break and shoot a ball on a 1-on-3 fast break for a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, like hold up. I didn't know you can do that. But
Yeah.
he earned that.
He earned
right?
it, right.
So but with the 5 in, it was just like, hold on, let them press first. Let my group trap over half. Cause I'm dog tired now.
Yeah, you tired.
But it was your recovery time. So it taught you to, all right, you know you're coming right back in. So when you come out, get your shit together, and go back in, then you go to work.
So it was more like a mental thing. And also, like to add on to what he was saying, it was called the break spots. So those who don't know what that is, literally you had 2 people up top, 1 person down low in the post, and then 2 wings.
Yep.
okay.
So let's just say, Rumteen, I go to the basket and I don't have a shot. I have to kick it out and stand right back into my break spot. Like I couldn't move.
Oh, wow.
So that really helped us on our one-on-one game because if you could score with that little bit of space,
yeah.
you'd be very effective. So that really helped me on the professional level. Like if I can score on a break spot, no space. So even if I broke my man down, I would kick it out and have to go back and sit there and do this. And sit there do this.
Was this effective?
Oh, it was.
It was.
Because why I would think there'd be a mutiny after a while.
No,
The
listen,
team,
We were 31-3.
Yeah.
We led NCAA
And scoring, right?
and scoring. And scoring. We scored 100 points a game. We were beating teams by 25, 30 points. Like it was crazy. It was up and down.
so as much as it wasn't probably fun for everybody, you kind of had to be like, hey, it's working.
Yeah.
We're beating teams. We're scoring tons of points. Like,
It became fun.
It became fun.
At first, for me, it wasn't fun. I'm gonna be honest with you, but and I'll talk to guys like Gumby and Coop, and especially Gumby. Like once you figure it out, you're gonna have fun, and me being a quicker, fast type of guard that's very athletic, it'll benefit me as well because we're trapping and just all over the place. So I probably had the most dunks on our team because of them fast breaks and steals and that. So
how many guys would play a game? I mean, on the roster.
It goes 10 deep.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to
crunch time,
late in the third, late in the fourth, he goes 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you got so the second unit, it might mix in. So he might throw 2 more in. So you might have 12 total that's playing. But when it comes third and fourth, that's when you're gonna be in the game. So you're gonna be in the game. Then the pressing pounds will fall off. Now you finish the game.
So one time, when I played, Rico he had got in trouble, some type of disciplinary act or something happened where Coach Dave Davis was like, you know what, you have to sit this game. Remember what we said, 5 in, 5 out. I had to play 5 in, and then when the other 4 came in, I had to stay in. And I played the whole game. So that's when I knew I was like, all right, I think think I'm a little different, like as far as like my conditioning and playing both ends of the floor. And I played that whole game. We ended up winning against Coker. And I probably had a triple-double or close to a triple-double. But think about that. So I had to change my mentality where, all right, I'm not coming out. So the other 4 that comes in, I have to stay in. Yeah. And I have to be just as effective. I have to get to my break spots. I have to penetrate and kick, and I have to pick up full court. The whole game. I remember doing that.
What was that conditioning at practice like? What was the conditioning like?
Man, it was crazy.
Running was ridiculous.
We were a small team.
First of all, you had to make, what was the mile, 5:30?
Yeah.
You had to make the 5:30 mile.
5:15 for
5:15.
me.
5:15 for guards. 5:30 to even play. So
it's like the beginning of the season conditioning requirement.
Yeah.
The trail.
So the trail.
Yeah.
And then it's not like it's a, you don't even know if it's a real damn.
No, it wasn't no real trail. He lied talking about it's not a mile, it's just something.
So he used to take his little white car. That's another. Let me talk about that shit right there. Hold on.
Yeah.
So he take his little white car and he drive around. You know how your car tell you when you drive a mile. Yeah. So that was him marking the trail.
Just
right?
guessing.
Just guessing. So first of all, they picked me up in that little white shit. Like, where I'm put my stuff in?
Right.
I'm in that.
You remember that?
Yeah. Whatever. But I do appreciate them picking me up. But anyway, so that's the trail. So you run the trail, and then I don't know. I know y'all had a story where Coop said somebody dove across the line, and Coach Davis told him, 5:31, see you in the morning.
Yep.
So we had a similar story. Yep, we had a similar story. Like some of our best players ain't make the time. Like, see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the joint started at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. That's when the mile run start, and you gotta be there. And his thing was, if you're not 15 minutes early, you late.
Wow. You serious about that?
No, he's serious about that.
If you're not 15 minutes early, you late. If you gotta go see the trainer, you better get there early before the practice start. Not 15 minutes. So don't come at 3, talking about you had to go see the trainer and come in his practice at 3:15 because it's gonna be a problem. Wow. Ain't no excuses. And the running was just it got to a point where we had players going into the trainers, and the trainers had to go to the coach and like, listen, they can't run today.
They can't run today. Yeah.
They can't run today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no joke on the team, seriously. Yeah. Like, and then our Division II team, we could compete or beat some Division I teams.
Yeah.
And just kind of backtracking about like Coach Davis, one thing I really did learn and respect from him is, you know how when we were young in our early 20s, we'd be like, you know what? We don't got enough time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He broke down 24 hours.
Oh,
and that carried on for me for the rest of my life. Yeah. So I'll tell like my daughter or my stepson or even Shanita, like, listen, don't say you don't have time. You break it down. So I don't know, this couple amount of hours, I do this. And then once I'm done with that, it's no time to break. Just go ahead and do the other hours. And then you still have 6 hours left. Yeah. So don't ever say there's no such thing as I don't have time. No, you have time. If you really break down 24 hours in a day, you have time. You just have to get organized. And that's what Pfeiffer kind of taught me, was to be more organized. Because, like, as far as schoolwork and all that, I wasn't the most organized person. You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. But what helped me now is that 24-hour thing. It really helped me break down like my schedule throughout the day, whether it's in my basketball, like my both ends training and stuff. Like, you have time. You know what I mean? So that helped me.
That's true. And I just want to get some here we have not talked about yet. This is the first time y'all played together at Pfeiffer. Did y'all intersect at Pfeiffer or no?
That's a story in itself. I didn't never play with Ojo, but when I was playing, he was at Union or State. What was it? Virginia State. So, and the coach Hedrick, heard about him. So it was like, I know there's a guy named Ojo. Is he? What do you think? I said, Ojo. I said, hell yeah. I said, yeah. I said, I'll reach out to him. I'll give you number contact. I don't know how they got him up there, but
this is not to cut you off. This is when.
I don't know how.
Remember when I was deciding to leave, and I had to ask Coach Hill. Shout out Coach Hill for my release
because they wasn't playing you.
Because they wasn't. No, he wanted to redshirt me.
Right.
Yeah, remember again? I was older. I was older.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not playing behind these youngsters, and I knew, no disrespect to none of them, but I knew on both ends of the floor.
Right.
that I can bring more right away.
Yeah.
So he wanted to sit me out a year and speed dial, hit Gumby up, hit Coop up, and that's when he reached out to Coach Harris. They knew about me from MC.
They already knew.
Yeah, because Hobson had a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
So that's how that connection went. But as far as me and him playing together, I think we used to play at like Apple Ridge and stuff like that together. Like
But you're not
outdoor
on
a team.
You guys
No.
at Pfeiffer.
Nope.
No, we
So
just
we came
missed.
in-
I was there when he was there because I had to come back and finish. For one, I had to finish my
Your degree.
my degree up and
Your
my
eligibility
culture
was
credit,
there.
but my eligibility was done. So I had to do culture credits, and I needed one more class. So I could have did it from home, but I stayed out there, because I knew he was coming out there.
That's amazing.
Shout out Gumby because my life was horrible, bro.
This guy was so sad at Pfeiffer, like it was scary, but he made the best of it and he did what he had to do. Like I left my room door open at all times for him. He called me talking about Black. I took your shirt. If you got a problem with it, I'll pay you back. That was his favorite. That became one of his favorite lines.
Yeah.
I'll pay you back. If there's a problem, fight me. Man, get what you need. So I bring him food from the cafeteria. Like he wasn't going to the cafeteria.
No.
He really wasn't
Were
interacting
you
with
just
people.
depressed?
He was just in the room.
Were you sad?
So-
I don't know if he was
I don't
depressed.
think I was depressed. It was just
culture.
a culture shock.
Yeah.
Like I was used to me, normal people, but they were normal too in North Carolina, but it was just different.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, seriously, I would be in the room, like, all day after practice, after class, and I'd be like, yo, Gum, like, how could you survive here? But then, I got used to it eventually. It took me a while to talk to people. Like, I didn't even really speak to nobody. I would just talk to Gumby. And like he said, he would leave cereal boxes and all types of snacks and stuff for me, and I would be in there and I would eat and I'd play Madden and just chill in the room. But that really taught me how to be a man when I was at Pfeiffer, like seriously. And shout out to Gumby because he was like a big brother to me when we were out there, like, and I looked up to him from Montgomery County. So I mean, it was a win-win situation at the end. But thank God he was there and he stayed that 1 year, man. Like, you should even see some of the open gyms when Gumby was there. Like, when we played together, we didn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, and this is when Gumby, I feel like you were in your prime, probably around that, after that Pfeiffer year. True story. One time we was playing and, we had this thing where we just throw backdoor cuts to each other, dunks. Mm-hmm. One time I threw a bad pass by accident to Gumby and he caught it from down here and he even said in the air, he's like, come on, O, and he caught it and did this. No joke. And he did this. This is no lie. And he dunked it. And it's rare that a open gym gets shut down.
Yeah.
Coach Davis was like, that's it. We're
it.
out of here.
That's it.
We're out of here. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
He
True
literally was
story.
like,
He said, that's it. Cause I've never seen nothing crazy. Gumby's not that tall. Like, like he's saying he's 6'3", whatever, 200. But
okay,
I threw him a bad hoop, and this dude caught it from down here and dunked it. Like, it still gives me the chills thinking about it. Like, that's how different this dude was. Like, that's why a lot of people in the DMV or even further, like, they need to know about this dude. Like, a lot of these kids think that, they different. No, this dude was really different.
100%. And that actually is a good segue to, I think, where a lot more people got to know your game and who you are. Is that when y'all kind of came back together and played in Goodman League.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how that happened? How did y'all end up back on it? Because at that point, you had not played on a team together officially.
Right.
But you had established this relationship with Pfeiffer, right?
100%.
You had become friends. You all become brothers, basically. So how do you all then come back together to playing? Because, you made a splash in the Goodman League, obviously, and we can get into that. But how did that happen? How did you then come back to playing with Ojo there?
I think the Goodman League happened. It was Carlos. He knew us. He knew me from Lincoln Park. He was from out that way. He was like, look, man, I'm trying to get a team. Ojo been playing out that way for forever, but he was never on the team. Like, he always play on this team, play on that team. Like, everybody wants Ojo to play on this team. So it was Los was like, man, I want to put a team in the Goodman League. So I'm like, all right, we'll do Team Lincoln Park. Ojo from Damascus. We all know that, born and raised. But it was like we built that family type of bond, from that Pfeiffer journey, from the MC, from him, Coop, like all of us, it was just like, all right, like we can do this.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like Carlos reached out, got us in the Goodman League. We started at the what time we
started at 5.
The 5 o'clock. The 5.
So that meant the primetime teams played at the prime time.
Prime time played at 8, 9.
Yeah, so
All right.
we was
So
JV.
we was in the we was JV. So we played at the 5:30 games. And mind you, we all worked for the city of Rockville, so we don't get off till 5.
Yeah.
So we gotta shoot up the road, and you know at 5 o'clock it's traffic.
Yeah.
So we hitting GW Parkway, so we calling Miles. Yo, we gonna be about 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Like we getting out there. I remember our first game. I remember like yesterday. Like he's like, oh, these Mo County dudes about to get ran out of here.
You know how
You Mo
offended
County
he took
dudes.
He
about
was
to get
saying that on the
mic.
on the mic.
As we walking in.
It's like, who these dudes?
Who these Mo County dudes? Man, I don't even know who we played, but we beat the brakes off them. Like first game, second game, third game, we scored over 70, 80 points. We moved to prime time. We just run it, and it's just like what they call it, the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Ojo and Gumby show, Miles pitted on the mic. Like it was crazy. And then we had our own little play, like you said, the backdoor play. So anytime we go out of bounds, it's a box play. So him, and Coop, it was just, we already know what's going on.
Yep.
So it's a box. You just fake left, come back right. We throwing left, you come dunk it.
There's those
I'm gonna do it or
legendary
he gonna do
clips.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all
No,
catching those oops
no
from the
practicing.
baseline.
No
Chemistry.
practicing. No working on it. It's just what we did.
Yeah.
So and then from there, man, the sky was the limit. It was great, man. And then it was cool because we all knew what our role was.
Yeah.
Right. Like Ojo know he gonna cover the best player on our team. I know I'm just there to catch and shoot, catch a dunk here and there. Coop know he gonna play defense. He gonna take his shots. Pierre knew what he gonna do. Johan played. It was only 6 or 7 of us to start.
Yeah.
Right. So and we all knew what we wanted to do. So I think from there, it made us even closer. Right. So it was like, damn, everybody's showing up.
Yeah.
Everybody's here, and we running the table, and then from there we just kept rolling.
Did y'all expect to dominate like that though? Did you going in there?
Yeah. My opinion. I'm just saying.
I mean, we did. I think we went out there with a bone to pick, right?
Yeah.
Because especially when we walked in there and he said these Mo County dudes about to get ran out.
Who the MOCO dudes?
Yeah, so it was like, and that was like the talk, right? So and it was like, all right, well, let's get these Bama's out of here.
Yeah.
And then that's just what we did.
So I think his story about us playing in playing in the Gumby League, was 100% accurate. But I think there was another story where we all used to play King of the Court at Lincoln Park. Yep, 2-on-2. And like you said, that I played down the road a lot. Mm-hmm. I think I remember bringing it to you and Coop one time. I was like, dog, let's put a team in it. Yeah, let's put a team together. And y'all at first was kind of like, nah, I don't know, you won't fool with these, And I was like, man, come on. I was like, y'all scared? Yeah. So then that's kind of, and then,
that worked.
Yeah, it kind of worked. But,
yeah.
They used to really do that to me more, reverse psychology. But, so I think that's how I really, really, shaped. And then we became one of the most winningest teams in Gumby League history, probably the most.
I mean, y'all were playing against. So it's remarkable because at the beginning of the story, you're playing at Richard Montgomery, all stuff, but then suddenly you're playing on the court with pros.
Yeah.
You're playing with KD.
Yeah.
What I mean, at that point, did you ever feel like reflecting at that point, like, man, how'd I end up here? This is crazy.
Too fast.
I think it was fast. It was fast, and it was like, damn, like we became like such a dominant team that they start bringing in players, right? So they start bringing in pros to play on other teams.
That's true.
Right?
To try to take y'all down.
To beat us, right? So I remember it was a couple games where they tried to pit players on our team. We were like,
try to add players on our team.
We don't want nobody on our team. This is how we rocking. Like, this is it. Like, we don't want no NBA players. We don't want no whoever we came down here with. That's who we playing with. And that was it, and that's how we went at it.
This is a true story. This is why this dude is who he is and the legacy of Gumby. So, like he said, I had a little more buzz in DC or whatever, playing in the Gumby League. So KD played with us one or two games outside, right?
Okay.
And we ended up dominating. I think that's why I had like 29 points. KD had 27, Shaq 25. Gumby decided on his own. He said, y'all go ahead and rock out. I'm cooling, right? But we just got the vibe that when Gumby was playing, KD was kind of like, he didn't say nothing like Gumby sucked or nothing like that, but he was like, no, like, pass it to such and such, or this and the third. And I ain't like that vibe. And Gumby heard that. So the next day, Gumby was like, Ojo, don't even trip. Like, wait till we play him again. So the next day,
okay, all right,
indoor, we play against KD in the Final Four.
Okay.
I mean, KD and other pros. This man, when I tell you he went crazy, Gumby, I mean, he was shooting like 2 steps in front of half court.
Wow.
Like, and I have videos to show all this.
Okay.
I mean, bombing. And then Johan threw Gumby a half court oop from the side. Gumby catches it. One of them classic reverse dunks that Gumby used to do, dunked it. So we thinking, we beat them too. Sweat mob. We're like, all right, bet we knocked KD out.
Beat KD's team.
We beat him a couple times, but we
but
knocked
that day. So
that day, Gumby had a
like
show.
Jordan said, you took it personal.
Took it personal. He did. And he usually's good at hiding, taking things personal. Gumby real laid back, but I know him. He takes stuff personal too, but he knows how to hide it better than me.
Okay.
Like I carried my emotion on my face, my sleeve.
Yeah.
So when KD kind of was sleeping on Gumby, the next day Gumby goes crazy, 30-some points, whatever. We beat them. We like bet. Sigh of relief. We don't even got to worry about playing against KD in the championship. Game comes.
Yeah.
Here come KD.
Yep.
I'm like, what you doing here? Now I said that. So what you doing here? He's like, no, I'm about to play again. Yep. I said, I didn't even complain, but I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we ended up playing them. We went back and forth. Crazy story. That's where I got my Canada contract from.
Wow.
Playing in that game. Because Coach Jaren Jackson, not Jaren Jackson that's on the Grizzlies, his father, he came to watch that game, and I had like 33, 35 points. We ended up losing by like 7 or 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
But we kept our head high, though, because we were like, you know what? We knocked him out. So if they got to bring him back, then y'all
kept
go ahead
at him
and
every team.
Him, Josh Selby.
I'm about to say, he ain't come back by himself. He came back with a mob.
Yeah, he came back with a mob. We had Dante Green on our team.
Yeah, but he played with us from the start.
He played with us from the start.
And Baby Shaq. And then they tried to give us somebody.
Yeah, we said no.
I was like, no.
No, that was our motto. Yeah. Like, if we gonna stick together, we're gonna ride together from the beginning to
That's
the end.
young KD too.
Young KD, that's OKC KD.
Yeah, that's OKC. That's different. That's just like
different. Different.
Yeah.
So we were like cool, but then KD had so much respect for Team Lincoln Park, and that's why KD's one of my favorite players now.
Mine too. Yeah.
Because he didn't have to play with us.
At all.
Yeah, he showed y'all the respect you earned, right? Like some guys can still be stubborn and not want to show it, right? Yeah. But he's clearly said something about him.
And he played outside as if it was Game 7 in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and all just watching him like, dang. But then it was cool because he'd be like, Ojo,
He's one of the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And he'd be like, Ojo, do you. You do you. I'm like, wow, this guy's telling me to, so he trusted us.
Yeah.
There's a humility and a control, at least, over his ego.
Yeah, for sure.
To the point that he could play with other people and recognize other people, right? That's not common, because I think there's probably, I've heard this from people. There's just a lot of egos, obviously, in the NBA. A lot of divas.
It is.
You know what I mean? And so that's incredible. So, as you look, because we just basically taking a journey through your career, right? Like, I'm sure, many of us don't get a chance to reflect on our lives and our careers that often. As you look back, when you think about everything you went through in your entire career, what's the advice you would give up to, like, if you had to go back and give, like, 14-year-old Gumby advice, or any of these kids coming up now that might be in the same shoes you were in at that time? What do you, as you reflect back, what are the things you tell players in that place?
I think the advice that I would give would be is school. Like, focus on it, man. Like, when you hear people say, like, you need something to fall back on, you definitely do. Like, it's the truth. Yeah, like, we all get older. Yeah. We can't play this game forever, right? So, get your grades. I ain't saying I have 4.0, none of that, but do your schoolwork, man. Like, if you're not ready to take that extended route to get to where you're trying to get, then take the easiest path, man.
Right.
Like, get them grades, do your work, focus. Like, I think for me, that's what I would tell my 14-year-old, 15, 16-year-old self. Like, this is where the difference is going to happen for you, right? All the sports, all the jump shots, all the ups, all the don'ts you can do. That's fine because a lot of people can do that. Right? A lot of people in the DMV can do that. A lot of people outside of the DMV can do that. But them grades is what's going to separate you. And them grades is what you're going to need to fall back on. God forbid an injury or something like that. But if you got that, then you're good to go. Like I got my degrees. They can't take that from me.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can do what I want. Like I'm security at Walter Johnson High School. That's because I choose to be security at Walter Johnson High School. Like I could take my degree and do something else with it.
Right.
But I choose because this is what I love to do, to talk to the kids, get back to the kids. So I have options. I have options now.
Yeah.
Right. So I think with options, that's what you want in life. So that's the advice that I would give.
That's incredible. You used basketball, right?
Yep.
Basketball, didn't use you. You used basketball, and I think that's a really important note.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people still to this day bring up Gumby. And,
That's right.
That's one of the main reasons why. Not only that he's, big bro, but this is why I wanted to bring him on the Both Ends podcast because, like, he has so many stories that people don't know about. He has so many accomplishments that people don't know about. And, people need to know about that. You know what I mean? And, like, it's just amazing just to hear, like, his story. And there's certain stuff that he just said today that I didn't even know about either.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't. I know a lot about it because we became close and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that I didn't know about. But one quick story, or I'm going to ask you a question. So somebody told me this is true. Somebody said this is a true story. I'm going to ask you if this is true. Somebody was talking trash to you during lunch in high school. And it said that like you can't dunk on them, and you had Timberland boots on.
Yeah.
So is that true? Like you went into the gym with Tim's on and dunked on the dude?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
That's high school though. That's
what?
Fresh legs. Yeah.
No, but that's different.
Yeah.
With Tim's on.
I believe
See what
it.
I'm saying?
I believe it. I remember the how he used to raise up on that jump shot.
but
He come down the lane and
like,
dunk. That's crazy. And remember, everyone wore Tim's back then.
Yeah, with shorts and all that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, just to hear that story is true. Like I was running with that story and I didn't even know it was true. I was telling people. I still tell people that till this day. And I guess my last question is, as far as me and you per se, this is one of the only guys that I can say this that could beat me legitimately one-on-one, like seriously. But we would play for hours until I can beat him.
Yeah.
So and it made me sad that he hung up the game of basketball, because for me now, like I still play because I love to compete.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love it as much. I think I love to compete more than I love the game, like real talk. But like when he stopped playing, that like kind of affected me in a way, selfishly. Being selfish. Yeah, because I was like, if I could beat Gumby, then I know that I can play against anybody in the NBA or whoever. It didn't matter. Like he'll tell you this, Ryan Kruger, Kool-Aid, aka Kool-Aid. This is where I feel like I knew that he was special, myself and Coop. Like this guy, he coached in the NBA. And when he stamps that like the three of us were NBA talented,
wow.
That was it. We could have hung it up that day, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was just a moment for me to always remember, and I'll never cherish that because I'll never forget it, and I'll cherish that moment. But yeah, it was special, man. It was special. It was cool. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's a special conversation. We really appreciate you coming in and sharing your story, man. It's been great. I mean, like Ojo said, I feel like I've gotten to know you a lot better through this conversation. I hope the folks watching this also have the same feeling walking away. But this has been an episode of Both Ends Podcast. Our guest, Anthony Gumby Williams. We appreciate having you, man. It's been great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
and we'll be back with another episode. But it's been great having you, man.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate being on here, man. It's much love, man. It was great. Yeah, I got a nice little setup, good thing going right here.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Definitely.
All right, Jack.
Cut. All right, that was good. That was easy, man.
I got this, bro. I've been holding this.
I told you, man. You're drinking water.
I came like 10 minutes in.